Game 2 of this doubleheader is now underway as the Blue Devils will try to get some revenge on the Warriors after dropping the last game by a score of 12-5. Still a nice brisk day out as each of the teams get ready for now the second game of conference play this year. I'm Chase Kaufman here with you for some Blue Devil baseball. That pitch is popped up behind us, and that's going to get back into the seats. 2-1 count now on the leadoff hitter, Jacob Alvidrez. The 2-1 is lined to center field, and that's going to drop for a hit. And Jacob Alvidrez is going to get on here. On the mound for the Blue Devils is number 30, freshman Jay Gallant. Jay has appeared in 5 games this season with a 2-0 record and a nice 3.38 ERA with an opposing batting average of .222 out of Saginaw, Michigan. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Jay stands in at 6'4", 185. And he's going to try to get this Blue Devil split with the Warriors. Next pitch is a blooper into right field. And everybody will move up safely as Reese Olden, the center fielder, advances to first. So not a good start here for Gallant, as the first 2 runners are now on with nobody out. Going to bring up the first baseman, number 7, Glenn McLean. Glenn caught in the last game. Pitch is just tipped. 0-2 count now. Runners on first and second. McLean had a couple hits in the last matchup. Also scored a couple runs. That pitch. High fly ball into right field. Sean Fannin, the Gold Glove winner, camped under it. And that's going to move the lead runner, Alvidrez, up a base. Runners now on first and third with 1 out. It's going to bring up Branson Dawson, the designated hitter. Branson also had a couple hits and a couple runs last game. Brandon averaging .418 and has a whopping 1249 OPS. 3 home runs on the year, slugging .727, on base percentage of .522. 1-1 now. And with Olden on the run, that pitch is fouled back. 1-2 now. So first and third, still no score, 1 out, 1-2 count on the cleanup hitter Dawson. That pitch hitting to center field. And that'll get a run in. So a sac fly from Dawson brings in the first run of the game for the Warriors. Eddie Dobkowski out there was camped under it, but hit a little too deep for a chance to get the runner coming home. So that's going to bring the first run of the game in, and the Warriors are going to take a 1-0 lead. Two outs now. Runner on first is Olden still. A soft grounder is not going to get him over at first. Gallant did all he could with the ball, but it just hit so softly that he couldn't get it there in time. So now we got runners on first and second. That was Kyle Harvey. It's going to bring up the shortstop, Jake Ritson, number 3. Jake also had a couple hits last game. Also scored a run. That first ball is outside. One and one now on that 82-mile-an-hour fastball. Two and one now on Ritson. Make that 3-1 now. Outfielder shaded a bit left. Infield, standard depth. 3-1, high fly ball, left center. And it'll be the left fielder, Jackson Walkowiak, camped under it for the third and final out of the inning. But, however, Indiana Tech gets on the board first with an early sac fly. And Blue Devils will try to match that heading into the bottom of the first. This is the home for Lawrence Tech Baseball. And the first pitch sails inside for ball one on Eddie Dobkowski, number 11, the center fielder. Second pitch in for a strike. 1-1 count now. On the mound is number 34, Hayes Sturtzman. And that's a grounder back to Hayes. And the easy toss. So one down here in the bottom of the first. Hayes is 2-0 on the season. 5 games started, 6 appearances. WHIP of 1.53, ERA of 5.9, 22 innings pitched. And has a 2.6 to 1 strikeout to walk rate. Opposing batting average of 261, so not bad. And you got the first one already. Now it's Jared Roth, the third baseman for this game. Jared did not start in the first game, taking the place of Tyler Childs in this one. Next pitch, also a called strike. Looked to be a little high. But umpires have done a pretty solid job here today, I would say. Next pitch outside, 2-2. And Roth will strike out swinging. 2 down now. Warriors with an early 1-0 lead after a sac fly from Branson Dawson, the cleanup hitter, back in the top of the first. Brings up the Gold Glove winner, Sean Fannin. Sean homered in today's game. Gave the Blue Devils an early 3-0 lead, but the Blue Devils could not hold on to that lead. He sends a slow grounder to third. And cleaned up nicely there by Kyle Harvey. And gets him by about half a step. So we'll head to the top of the second now after a Blue Devil 1-2-3 inning, where the Blue Devils will try to hold it at a 1-0 lead. This is the home for Lawrence Tech baseball. First pitch is a ball. Alex Vitek at the plate. Alex is behind the plate as well out in the field. He's catching today. Did not start in the first game. Two and one now. Alex, a .219 hitter, 7 for 32. Has one double, one triple, and one home run on the season. That one hard hit grounder to third at Roth. Roth not able to clean it cleanly at first, but picks himself back up and makes the play. One down. Next up is the left fielder, Trevor McDonald. Trevor was held hitless in the first game. He went 0 for 4, but also had a walk. Swung on and missed that 82-mile-an-hour fastball there from Gallant. McDonald was hitting .333 as he hits one. That's going to drop foul. Was hitting .333 before that game. As I just mentioned, he went 0 for 4, so it'll drop him a little bit. 6 doubles on the season. That pitch just misses. 1 and 2 now, 1 down. Nobody on. Center fielder shaded a bit left. Everyone else at the standard depth. That pitch misses just a bit inside and low as well. 2 and 2 now. 4:52 here in Utica, Michigan at Jimmy John's Field, home of the United Shore Professional Baseball League. Now it's 3 and 2. So McDonald worked his way back from an 0 and 2 count. Now after 3 pitches, now it's back to 3 and 2. He swung on and missed at that pitch though. 81 miles an hour. It looks like it might have been caught a ball a little bit outside. But Gallant will take the strikeout. 2 down. That'll bring up the second baseman, Brandon Birch. Brandon had a couple singles hit by a pitch in his first game. Also scored the 12th run in the 9th inning as he swings and misses there. Called strike on the outside edge there. Looks like we're going to get a little bit of a bigger strike zone here from this ump, as we've already seen a few pitches that have just hit the outside edge and have been called strikes. That pitch, fly ball, center field, not too deep. And Eddie Dobkowski camps under it for the 3rd out. So Gallant gets himself a 1-2-3 inning, and the Blue Devils will head to the bottom of the 2nd inning, down 1-0. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. First pitch to Brian Corbett, fouled back. Brian Corbett, the junior, out of Miamisburg, Ohio. Went to Miamisburg High School. Brian got on base all 4 plate appearances last game. All 4 at-bats. Had 3 singles and reached on an error. So 3 for 4. Now it's 0-2 on Brian. And Brian goes down on 3 pitches. That'll bring up the DH, Logan Barker, number 29. Logan out of Chatham, Virginia, a sophomore. Logan batting .355 this season before today's game. Still no home runs yet on the season. He grounds one to third to Harvey. And a nice scoop made over there by Glenn McLean for the first out of the inning. Left fielder number 25, Jackson Wakowiak, will be at the plate now. The left-handed hitter out of Grosse Pointe, Michigan. Went to University Liggett High School, as well as his teammate, Sean Fannin. Jackson a sophomore, however, Sean a junior. And Jackson hits one right up the middle. An easy toss for Sturtzman to McLean. And Sturtzman has himself another 1-2-3 inning. We'll head to the top of the third, where the Warriors still maintain a 1-0 lead. This is the home for Lawrence Tech Baseball. Top of the third starts out with a strike. Back to the top of the order is Jacob Alvidrez, the right fielder. Singled in his first at-bat, scored the first run of the game and the only run thus far, but hits a high fly ball to center field. And Eddie Dobkowski is there to put it away. So an early out there for Gallant. And that'll bring up number 9, the center fielder, Reese Olden. Reese, a junior out of New Haven, Indiana. And he hits a high pop-up, foul territory. And the first baseman, Brian Corbett, is there. I know you couldn't see it, but I promise you, he was there. So 2 quick outs for Jay Gallant. And an important 2 outs, too, because we're at the top of the order. And now Glenn McLean, the first baseman, is headed to the plate. First pitch, a called ball. Glenn batting .324 this season, a redshirt senior from Fremont, Indiana. This one is hit deep to left field, and this one is way gone. Glenn McLean with a solo shot to deep left field, and he makes this ball game 2-0 in favor of the Warriors. And what seemed to be a pretty quick inning was turned around there from a quick solo shot from McLean. Now the Blue Devils see themselves in a 2-run deficit. That was McLean's 6th home run on the season. And he did have a slugging percentage of .608, but that's going to jump up a little bit more now. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Branson Dawson. 1-0 count to start. Next pitch called struck on the outside edge. Jay Gallant's got to hold the Warriors to as minimal runs as he can get, considering the Blue Devils are still hitless. So you never know how many runs the Blue Devils are going to get right now. Right now, it doesn't seem to be looking too good with a couple strikeouts and 4 groundouts. That pitch inside, 3-1 now. This one, another fly ball hit to deep left field. This one's back at the track, but Jackson Walkowiak is there to make the catch. So another close call there from Gallant, but they already had a home run, so that makes it a 2-0 game. Looked like it'd be a 1-2-3 inning, but not from Glenn McLean, who is the 2nd run of the game. And the Blue Devils find themselves at a 2-run deficit. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. This is the home of Blue Devil baseball. First pitch into Ryan Robinette. It's a called strike. Robinette, the shortstop, number 27. Robinette out of Midland, Michigan, went to Bullitt Creek High School. 0 for 4 last game, but now he gets on base here. So the first base runner of the game is on with nobody out, and that'll bring up the second baseman, number 31, Nick Allen. Nick Allen, a freshman out of Macomb, Michigan, is hitting .300 this season in just 6 games played, 3 for 10. Robinette over at first, takes his lead. And that pitch misses inside. 2-0 now on Allen. Throw over to first. 2 of Nick's 3 hits this season have been doubles. He's also got 2 RBIs and 5 walks. So he's got an on-base percentage of .533. Native of Dakota High School. 3-0 now on Allen. Runner on first. Center fielded shaded very far right. And that pitch sails outside. 4-pitch walk to Allen. He's going to put runners on first and second now with nobody down. Max Cadman, the catcher, now will stroll to the plate. Cadman also caught all 9 innings of Game 1, so I'd expect he's going to get a nice, well-deserved break tomorrow when the Blue Devils travel to Ohio to take on Lourdes University. Max was in the 2 spot in Game 1, went 2 for 5 with 2 singles and 2 runs scored. Shows bunt, pulls it back early. 1-0. Shows bunt again. And now it's 2-0. So Sturtzman really struggling to find the strike zone here, and they're going to have a quick mound visit. The last 6 pitches, 7 if you count the hit by pitch, have been balls. Sturtzman not too errant of a pitcher. He's got 26 strikeouts in the year, 10 walks, which isn't too bad. It's one of the better on his team. So we'll see if that mound visit helped him out at all. Not on that pitch, at least. 3-0 now. Got to think Cadman, the 9-hitter, just going to take a pitch here. Being nobody out, man on first and second, you got your top of the lineup coming up. And you're down 2. Takes a pitch right down the middle, 3-1 still a hitter's count. Cadman out of Heartland, Michigan, went to Heartland High School. Shows bunt, lays it down, and Sturtzman only plays to first, so Cadman does his job, advances the runners to second and third, eliminates the force, but now we have 1 down. And now we're back to the top of the lineup where Eddie Dobkowski is going to look to earn himself a couple RBIs. First pitch to Dobkowski, a strike. Dobkowski grounded out to the pitcher in his first at bat. He also went 1 for 5 last game with a single and a run score in his first at bat, but then struck out the next 4 plate appearances, so he wants to get back on track here for sure. Sturtzman delivers a pitch outside. 1-2 now. Olden, the center fielder, shaded right. Trevor McDonald, the left fielder, in a little bit. The 1-2 swung on, missed. We got 2 down here, as Jared Roth will step to the plate. 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out. Got to see these guys come in, at least one of them. Roth struck out in his first at bat. First pitch, a called strike. Roth, a junior out of Traverse City, Michigan, went to Traverse City West High School. Batted just 160 his freshman year. Jumped that up to a 290 the last year, and then is now sitting at 333 for this year through 10 games. That pitch a bit high, 1-1 now. Robinette, the runner, on third. Allen on second. They got there from a sac bunt from Cadman, and then Dobkowski just struck out. This one a high pop-up in between left and third. And the left fielder, Trevor McDonald's going to call everybody off. And Hayes Sturtzman gets out of a quick jam after 2 men allowed on first. Gets a sac bunt, a strikeout, and then a pop-up to left field. And the Warriors still lead 2-0 after 3. We'll be right back. This is the home for Blue Devil Baseball. 1-0 on Kyle Harvey, the third baseman. He singled in his first at bat. Make that 2-0. Harvey, a .311 hitter, 19 for 61 before these two games. 2-0, fouled back out of play. Harvey with 19 hits on the season, just one double, one home run. So a pretty good contact hitter, batting .311 with an on-base percentage of .343. Pops that one up to shallow left field, and Jackson Walkowiak is there to put it away. So one down in the top of the fourth inning. That'll bring up the shortstop, number 3, Jake Ritson. After that ball, next pitch in for a called strike. 1-1 now on Ritson, who bats .293 on the season, 12 for 41. 2 doubles, a triple, no home runs, however. Good hitters count now on Ritson. We'll see what he does with it. Pitch inside, swung and drove pretty deep to left field. Not deep enough, though, as Walkowiak is under it, and that's the second out that he's put away this inning. That is also the fourth flyout hit to him and the third in a row. Two down now, as that'll bring up the catcher, Alex Vidic, number 0, grounded to third in his last at-bat. Pops this one out of play. You can hear it bouncing on top of the metal roof. Alex just 0 for 1 this season. That one pops out of play as well. 0 for 2 if you count his last at bat. He's only started in one game. This is his second. He's a junior out of Heartland, Michigan. Went to Heartland High School, as did Cadman, the catcher. And they're in the same year. So I wonder if they're having any words with each other. Alex is also a catcher, as is Cadman. Had a couple of good catchers in their high school team then. And Cadman puts away that strikeout over to first in a quick inning from Gallant. Holds the lead at 2-0 in favor of the Warriors. Led to the bottom of the fourth, where the Blue Devils will try to get a couple of runs on the board. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Sean Fannin looks at a ball low and outside to start the bottom of the fourth. Jay Gallant had himself a 1-2-3 top of the fourth. See if the Blue Devils can take advantage of that and put a run or two on the board here. Nice breaking pitch at 73 miles an hour in for a strike. 1-1 now. That pitch outside. Now we're at 2-1. And after that strike call, it's now 2-2 on Fannin. Nobody out. Center fielder shaded to the right. Everybody else normal spots. Fannin drills one to shortstop. That's Ritson there, who gives it to McLean for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, the first baseman, number 7, Brian Corbett. Brian struck out in his first at-bat. Brian drills one to second base now, where Brandon Birch puts it away for the second out of the inning. So Sturtzman only with 33 pitches. He's already thrown 3 2/3 of an inning. So they're not getting very well to him to try to get to the bullpen. And outside of that 3-run shot from Fannin early in the first game, the Blue Devils haven't really put up much offensively today. Had a couple runs. They had one in the fourth, one in the fifth, and they haven't done really anything here today. Still hitless. They've been on base a couple times from a hit by pitch and a walk, but still no hits. 0-2 early now here on Logan Barker, the designated hitter. That 83-mile-an-hour fastball outside. 1-2 now. As the Michigan Wolverines get ready to tip off here against the Gators. 2-2 now on Barker. How's everybody's brackets doing out there? Anybody got a perfect one left? And Barker is caught looking on a questionable strike call in the lower inside corner. And through 4 innings, the Blue Devils are still held hitless. Down 2-0. We'll head to the top of the 5th. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Trevor McDonald will lead us off here in the top of the 5th inning. Been a pretty quick game thus far. About halfway done. We're only an hour through. Need some offense here. Well, not here, but in the bottom of the 5th, we'll say. 2-1 now. That pitch fouled back. Indiana Tech 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors. Jay Gallant had himself a pretty solid game. Just 48 pitches right now. As I say that, McDonald hits a nice line shot to left field for his first hit of the game. Brandon Birch, the second baseman, now up. Brandon Birch, also a tennis player in high school, majors in sports management. Shows bunt, pulls it back, throw it on to first. Not in time. Pitch also was called a ball. Birch, a junior, having himself a bit of a down season. He hit .257 last year. And before today, he was only hitting .45. But had himself a couple singles in the last game to get him back on track as we begin conference play. Shows bunt, pulls it back, 3-1 now. As I mentioned earlier, the Blue Devils will go and take on Lourdes tomorrow in a doubleheader. So we'll have a quick turnaround here after getting done around 7 o'clock, 7:30 or so. They're going to have to head out right to Ohio. Now there's 2 runners on for the Warriors as we head to the top of the order. Jacob Alvidrez is going to be at the plate. Jacob, the right fielder, flew out in his last at-bat to center. Singled in his first at-bat, scored the first run of the game. So Gallant in a little bit of a jam here. Runners on first and second, nobody down. Shows bunt. Able to pull it back on a pitch way inside. 2-0 now. Gallant's kind of lost the strike zone a little bit. And as I say that, for the second time this game, I have a quick mound visit. Gallant's pitch count has jumped to now 55. So with those words of encouragement from his coach and a few infielders, Jay Gallant will try to put away this guy. If not, maybe force him into a double play. It's going to be tough, though. It's already hitter's count, 2-0. Nobody down. The Warriors with a 2-0 lead. Shows bunt, able to get it down. Gallant's going to go to first with it to get the first out of the inning. Over at Alvidrez does his job, advances the runners to second and third. Now we have 1 out, no force. Center fielder Reese Olden is up now. He's 1 for 2. Popped up to third in his last at bat. First pitch, a ball inside. Reese batting .233. An accounting major. This one popped up. It's going to get out of play. Hit .246 last year with a double and a triple, 8 stolen bases. He also leads the team in stolen bases this year, 9 for 11. And that squeeze play is unsuccessful as he bunts that one foul. Now it's 1-2. Both runners were on the run, but Olden couldn't lay down the bunt. Olden lines one to second. Unable to field it cleanly is Allen. And that's going to get another run in. 3-0 now in favor of the Warriors with runners at the corners. And just 1 out. Will be an error on Allen. And Trevor McDonald will score the 3rd run of the game. This one lined to deep center field. This one's going back, and this one's off the wall. 1 run will score. And McLean will head into second. And Olden will stop at third. However, Brandon Barch came in to score, so it's going to be 4-0 Warriors now. After a 1-2-3 inning back in the 4th, Gallant has now allowed 2 runs this inning with still 2 runners on and just 1 out. And to make matters worse, now the designated hitter batting .419 is up, Branson Dawson. 2 flyouts on the day. I'm sure he would take another one here, considering there's just 1 out if it's deep enough. Driving another run with the guy on third. That pitch in for a called strike. 1-1 now. Chase Kaufman here with you at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Pretty chilly day, but nice out. At least it's not snowing. Now it's 1-2, that pitch. Looks to be a bit inside. Dawson didn't like it. Two and two now. McLean at second, Olden at third, just one down. Gotta wonder if he'll try to pitch away from him. As he pops one sky high. High in the infield. Won't be an infield fly rule. Nobody at first. And Ryan Robinette, the shortstop, is there to make the play. I was saying I was surprised he didn't really try to pitch around him with one down. He was their cleanup hitter and nobody was on first, so no force, but he did the job anyways. It's going to bring up the third baseman, number 6, Kyle Harvey. First pitch misses. 1-0. Next pitch hit deep down the left field line, but this is going to go foul. Past the home bullpen. That pitch in the dirt. Cadman able to smother it, however. This one lined to the right center field gap. This one's going to score too. One run in to score. McLean in to score. And Kyle Harvey will have himself a stand-up 2-run double to make it now a 6-0 game here in the top of the 5th. You got to wonder if that's going to be all for Jay. Doesn't look like anybody's coming out of the dugout. Looks like they're going to have him stick the rest of it out. Try to get this final out here in the 5th. This one down the third base line. Stopped by Roth. Able to get him out. So nice play by Roth there to finish out the inning, but the Warriors do get 4 runs on the board to make it a 6-0 lead as Lawrence Tech heads to the bottom of the 5th, still held hitless. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Jackson Walkowiak will lead the Blue Devils off in the bottom of the 5th inning. Try to put a number in that hit column other than 0. While we're at it, why not put a different number under the runs column other than 0? 2-0 now. Good hitters count for Jackson. Two and 1 now on Jackson. Center fielder shaded a bit left, as well as the shortstop. A little bit of a hole up the middle, as well as the right center gap. Jackson cannot hold back on that one. 2 and 2 now. Jackson lines one to left center. There's the first hit for the Blue Devils. He's going to take a wide turn at first, and he's going to hold. So let's see if Ryan Robinette, the shortstop, can do something with that. Oh and 1 now on Ryan. He was hit in the 3rd inning. And while Koyak caught in a run down here. So they got their first hit, unable to do anything with it. The ball was thrown in the dirt, and while Koyak just kind of hesitated a little bit on whether he should go to second or not. It looked like he was already halfway there and then realized he had no shot. Tried to turn back, but by then it was too late. And now we were back to 1 out and nobody on. Robinette tries to lay down a bunt there. Hits it a little too hard, goes foul. Surprised we've seen so many bunts tried to be laid down. Lawrence Tech's a pretty solid hitting team, but it seems like every 2 to 3 hitters you see someone try to lay down a bunt even when nobody's on. Two fouled back, staying alive is Robinette. Robinette batting .348 this season. So with nobody on, down 6, I'm kind of unsure on why he even tried to lay down a bunt. But he gets caught swinging there. I guess when you've been unable to get a lot of things going through 5 innings now, try to get on any way possible, I guess. Nick Allen, the second baseman, will be up now. He walked in his first plate appearance back in the 3rd. Slow breaking ball there at 62 miles an hour, drops in for the first strike on Allen. And a fastball into 86, called strike 2. Sturtzman having himself a dominating game so far. This one grounded softly to Sturtzman. Picks it up and makes the play. So the Blue Devils get a leadoff hit, but he was caught in a rundown, so they couldn't do anything with it, and then they got the next 2 outs. So the Warriors maintain their 6-0 lead, and we'll head to the top of the 6th. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. First pitch is a ball to the catcher, Alex Vidic, as well as the second. Line down the left field line. Jay Gallant still in the game, now at 70 pitches, counting this 2-1 count. Giving up 6 runs. He's having a really solid game before that last inning. Now it's 3-1 on the catcher, Alex Vidic. Alex is 0 for 2, which makes him 0 for 3 on the season. Hasn't played too much. And he gets on base for the first time this season. You got to assume he'll probably start playing a little bit more than now that we're heading into 9-inning games in conference play, where most of the conference games are in doubleheaders. So really don't want your catcher catching 18 innings a day unless you really have to, which is probably why Max is catching this game as well. Got a doubleheader tomorrow against Lords. Check on Indiana Tech's schedule. Indiana Tech will play Aquinas tomorrow. That'll be in Grand Rapids. Bunt laid down by Trevor McDonald will advance the runner, Alex Vidic, to second, and now we have 1 down. That's one thing the Warriors have been pretty solid at today, laying down those sack bunts. Now the bottom of the order, the second baseman, Brandon Birch. He walked in his last plate appearance, ended up scoring. He was one of those 4 runs in the top of the 5th. Fouls that one down the third base line. Anyways, Indiana Tech will play Aquinas in Grand Rapids tomorrow, so they'll probably head over as soon as this is done. Also give a shout out to our third baseman, Jared Roth. He won Player of the Week for the WAC last week. He batted .474 with 2 doubles and a pair of home runs and drove in 8 runs. This ball's a sky-high fly ball to center field. Topkowski camps under it. Runner will not advance from second to third. And we'll head back to the top of the order, Jacob Oliver Drez. Anyways, Jared Roth hit 2 home runs, 2 doubles, drove in 8 runs. So congratulations to him on the award. Called striking the outside edge to Jacob. They've already punched in a few scores for the WAC standings and the other teams the WAC conference play. Sky high pop-up, and Jared Roth just dropped it. But they're going to get him out at home, luckily. So a bit of a lucky play there. Jared Roth, as I just mentioned, won Player of the Week. Just dropped a pop-up, but luckily the runner was on his way home on a simple pop-up, just hustling it out. But Roth saw him in time to get him, so no harm done. Lawrence Tech will head to the bottom of the 6th inning, down 6-0. This is the home for Lawrence Tech baseball. First pitch outside to Cadman, the catcher. Cadman had a sac bunt in his first at bat. (1-0) in for a strike, 1-1 now. As I was saying before we went to the break, Lords and Cornerstone had their first conference game, and Cornerstone defeated the Lords 10-0 in the 8 innings by rule of mercy. So it was the first couple games between some WAC conference teams. This one in front of us and that one. One and two now. Last season, Indiana Tech won the conference title. They went 24-4. Lawrence Tech went even 13-13. But UNOH not far behind. They went 24-5. And tomorrow, Lawrence Tech will take on Lords, and they went 13-15 in the WAC. There's a blooper into left center. That'll drop. Cadman will have a leadoff single. Back to the top of the order, Eddie Dobkowski. Eddie is 0 for 2 in this second game. Eddie shows bunt, does not get it down. Goes down foul. Eddie batting .308 this season. Trying to move up their runner. But being down 6, I don't know if you want to trade a base for an out here. If it were me, I would probably just swing away. He fouls that one back to the screen. And Dobkowski swings and misses at a fastball high. So 1 down now on top of the 6th. Third baseman Jared Roth will now step to the plate. 0 for 2 in this game. Player of the week last week, as I just mentioned, batted .474 with a couple homers, and the Blue Devils could sure use a homer right now. Got a nice little hole into right center he could hit it through for a nice double. Center fielder shaded left. Fouls the first one off. Next week, the Blue Devils will take on Cornerstone, rather. That'll be in Grand Rapids, and then they come back home the very next day to play Aquinas. That'll be in Jimmy John's Field. A couple of non-conference games, then they'll take on Siena Heights, followed by Rochester. They'll have a busy few weekends in the next month or two. WAC tournament play set to begin on May 1st. Roth swings and misses that one there. 1 and 2 now, 1 down. Man on first, 6-0 game. The Blue Devils were outscored in 5th innings today, 9-0. That's mainly going to be their downfall. Other than that, it's been pretty close. That pitch misses a bit inside. Roth batting .333 on the season. Pops it sky high. Back to the catcher. And Alex Videk's able to make the catch. So 2 down now for the Blue Devils. Still a runner on first. But after that leadoff single, Dobkowski strikes out. Roth fouls out. And now it's going to be up to Sean Fannin, the right fielder, who has 2 groundouts in this game. Roth holds up on that one. Or Fannin, excuse me. 1-0. One and two now on Fannin after that foul out of play. Fannin, of course, hit that 3-run shot early in the first inning of the first game. And that one pitch alone led to more runs than Blue Devils have scored since then. Scored 3 in that first inning, 2 later on in the game, and then nothing here. Fannin grounds one to short. And Ritson to Birch for the 3rd out of the inning. So we'll head to the top of the 7th. Blue Devils still held scoreless. Warriors lead 6-0 into the top of the 7th. This is the home for Lawrence Tech Baseball. Reese Holden will lead us off. 0-1 early. Now 1-1. Olden reached on an error in his last plate appearance, or last at bat. Also reached on a single back in the first. Warriors lead this game 6-0 at a 4-run fifth inning off a few hits, a walk, an error. Olden grounds one to short. Robinette there to make the play. Corbett with the putout. One down. That'll bring up the three-hitter, Glenn McLean. Glenn having himself quite the day, doubled in his last at-bat, homered in the one before that, deep to left field, and also flew out to right field in his first at-bat. Indiana Tech with just 6 hits, even though they've scored 6 runs. Oh, and 2 now on McLean. This one is a deep fly ball to center field. Dobkowski under it. And puts it away for the second out of the inning. And Branson Dawson will step up to the plate. He's flown out or popped up 3 times now this game. First pitch, a called strike. Outfielder's pretty deep right now. You can see a little mark out in center field. It almost looks like a shadow, like the one out in right, but that's actually a little patch of grass that looks like where most center fielders must play. Two and one. And that pitch low and outside. 3-1 now on Dawson. Held him 0 for 3 today. Galen's done a pretty nice job on the 400 hitter. That one is outside, though. He walked him. So now with 2 down and a runner on first, Kyle Harvey will come to the plate. First pitch fouled way out of play. Oh, and 2 now on that called strike. All the shadows starting to creep in here. That one fouled back to the screen. This one a high pop up, right side. And the second baseman, Nick Allen, is under it to put the inning away. But at the bottom of the seventh now, Lawrence Tech still down 6-0. This is the home of Lawrence Tech baseball. One and one on the leadoff hitter, Brian Corbett. Brian is 0 for 2 in today's game. The top four were really solid in the first game. Now all of a sudden the top five are 0 for 12 in this second game of the doubleheader today. Or 0 for 13, excuse me. So not too solid this game, hitting-wise. Even though Sturzman ERA is 5.9. Not a solid hitting performance by the Blue Devils so far. 1 and 2 on Corbett. The 2-2. High fly ball. Not deep. Center fielder Olin under it to put it away. Not too many chances left for the Blue Devils now. Just 8 outs left. And they are down 6, much like the first game. First pitch fouled back to the screen. Outfielder shifted a bit right. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now on Barker. 0-2 on Barker now. Swing and a miss. Got him swinging. 2 down now. That'll leave it up to Jackson Wakowiak this inning. The top 5 in the lineup now for the Blue Devils are 0 for 15. In the first game, they were close to 400 probably. Two and one now on Wakowiak with 2 down here. In the bottom of the 7th, Lawrence Tech with just 2 hits today. 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch. And Wakowiak grounds one to second. And a nice play there made by Brandon Birch. And Glenn McLean makes a nice scoop. We're going to head to the top of the 8th now. Blue Devils still no runs on 2 hits and 2 errors. Head to the top of the 8th. Indiana Tech leads 6-0. This is the home for Lawrence Tech Baseball. Spencer McGee will lead off the inning for us. A pinch hitter for Jake Ritson, the shortstop. We're in the top of the 8th. Indiana Tech leads Lawrence Tech 6-0. And we also have a pitching change on the mound. Is now Kyle Wolter. Kyle pitched in the first game, gave up a run or 2, but he's back on the mound for this one. 1-2 now. Fly ball hit to right field. Sean Fannin camped under it. Puts the first out away. Catcher Alex Vidic coming up. He is 0 for 2 today with a walk. Kyle Walter, 7 innings, 7 earned runs, 9 ERA. Opposing batting average of .429. Jay Gallen's final line: 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs on 6 runs. There was a few errors in there. 1 home run. Trying to find the strikeouts. And it looks like just 1 strikeout. Make that 2 strikeouts. 1-2 now on Vidic. Nobody on, 1 out. Top of the 8th, 6-0 lead for the Warriors. This one fouled way out of play towards the row of cars. Also where mine is. Hopefully it didn't get hit. Two and two. Pitch just low. Full count now, 1 out. The 3-2. Swung on, high fly ball, left center field. And the left fielder, Wakowiak, is there to make the play. So 2 down now for Walter. And a soft little grounder ends the inning for Walter. A 1-2-3 inning. Led to the bottom of the 8th, where Lawrence Tech will try to chip away at this 6-0 lead, give them somewhat of a shot in the 9th inning to put this game at a tie game. 6-0 lead for the Warriors. This is the home of Lawrence Tech baseball. Soft grounder down the third base line. That's going to be an easy infield single for Ryan Robinette. So just what the Blue Devils needed to start off the inning. Sturtzman's still in the 8th inning. Nick Allen, the second baseman, now up at the plate, 2-0. Glenn McLean, as well as the catcher Alex Vidic, coming out to talk to Sturtzman. Try to calm him down a bit. Let him know he's got a 6-run lead. Just start throwing strikes. Two 0 on Allen. Nice pitch on the outside edge there. Three and one now on Allen, able to hold up on that pitch. Good hitter's count here. He's got to find his pitch and roll with it. Down 6-0. Got to start some here. Swung at a high fastball. 82 miles an hour. Full count now. Bit of action in the visitors' bullpen. And he got him looking. Now at the bottom of the order, the catcher Max Cadman. Max is 1 for 1 today, has a single and a sac bunt. I'm going to get a quick mound visit. Might be all for Sturtzman today. And that it is. Gets a handshake from his coach. And we're going to get a pitching change. So a great start today from Sturtzman. And we'll be right back after this short pitching change. Back here in the bottom of the 8th inning where we have a pitching change on our hands. Hey, Sturtzman just threw 7 1/3 innings, and now Landon Blower is in. His ERA is 1.64, has a whip of 1.27. In 6 appearances, none of these games started. Slow breaking pitch misses high there. Ten strikeouts, 3 walks. Ball low, 3-1 now. Lefty's 3-1 pitch in for a strike. Full count now, 1 out. The runner on first is Robinette. Allen was caught looking. Drills one down the left field line near the bullpen. Still full count. Swung on and missed at the 81-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 down now as we head to the top of the order. Eddie Dobkowski comes to the plate. After singling in his first at-bat today, Eddie is now 0 for his last 7 with 6 strikeouts. So, he wants to do something here and head into tomorrow with at least a little bit of a momentum. Breaking ball misses. On the move was Robinette, and he slides in safely, so Robinette adds himself a stolen base. First true stolen base we've seen all day. All the other ones were from wild pitches or pass balls. Wind's starting to die down a little bit. Next pitch hits the outside edge. 1-1 now, 2 down. Second baseman Brandon Birch watching Robinette closely. Blower looks back at him, looks again, and delivers the 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2 now. Robinette's on the move. And however, it was a called third strike. So Robinette with a leadoff single will not score. And we'll head to the top of the 9th with the Warriors on a 6-0 lead still. Blue Devils just 2 hits, no runs, 2 errors. This is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Taylor Neshek will now lead us off in the top of the ninth at the plate. Taylor standing in for Brandon Birch, the second baseman. And we also have a pitching change for the Blue Devils. David Klug now in. David A. Jr. as that one grounds to the first baseman, Corbett, who tosses over to Klug. This year, David has appeared in 6 games with a 1.93 ERA, opposing batting average 235, just 2 earned runs, 11 strikeouts, 5 walks, so a pretty solid year thus far for David. Only 8 hits allowed on 9 innings pitched, so his whip is about 1.3. In for a called strike. Back to the top of the order, Jacob Alverdrez. Oh, 1 fouled. Oh, and 2 now on Jacob. Jacob had a single in his first at-bat, scored a run, has a sac bunt to show for. Also popped up in the 6th inning, was dropped, but someone was tagged out at home anyways. 1 and 2 now. This one fouled down the right field line. Out of play. One and 2 now on Alverdrez. The 1-2 delivery. Swung on. Oh, nope, looking on the outside edge. 2 down now for Klug. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Reese Olden. Two down now here in the top of the 9th. 6-0 lead for the Warriors. David Klug on the mound now. Two 2-0 now on Olden. Side armor sets. And delivers a strike. 2-1 now. And he walked him. That'll bring up Glenn McLean, the first baseman, with a man on first, 2 outs. and a 6-0 lead. Glenn McLean with a homer and a double today. Grounder tips off the shortstop for the third out. So we'll head to the bottom of the ninth. Blue Devils lead 6-0. Sorry, Warriors lead 6-0. We'll head to the bottom of the ninth where the Blue Devils will try to put a couple runs on the board at least. And this is the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Yeah. Jared Roth is going to lead off the bottom of the ninth inning now as the Blue Devils try to make their way back down 6-0. Landon Blair still in the game. So on a slow pop-up to the third baseman who can't handle it cleanly, and the leadoff runner is on for the Blue Devils. Popped up sky high into the infield. Second baseman is under it, and he will make the play. So one down now. Brian Corbett now at the plate. Swings on the first pitch breaking ball. 0-1. Swings and misses again. 0-2 now on Corbett with a runner on first, one down. Down 6-0 here in the bottom of the ninth. 2-2 now. Breaking ball misses high. Corbett grounds one to the second baseman. He opts for the first out at first. Now 2 down, runner on second. Last chance for the Blue Devils will be Logan Barker. Logan 0 for 3 today. Top of the order this game, or top 5 batters for the Blue Devils this game are right now 1 for 16, or 1 for 17. We'll see if Logan can get a hit and add on to that. And Lawrence Tech will earn their first run of the game. So 6-1 now. Now Jackson Wakoyak steps up to the plate. He's 1 for 3 today. Had a single back in the 5th. Ball in the dirt will not advance the runner. Called strike. Here's the pitch. Another called strike. So Blue Devils down to their final chance here. Down 6-1, runner on first, 2 down. And swung on, tipped into the catcher's glove. And that will end the game. 2 of our doubleheader. Indiana Tech takes both, sweeps the Blue Devils 12-5, 6-0 or 6-1. As Lawrence Tech will try to move on from this and play Lourdes tomorrow. Let out tonight as they take on Lourdes in Ohio. Thank you, everybody, for watching. For Lawrence Tech Sports Network, I'm Chase Kaufman alongside Jenna Skalski, our producer, and Dylan Morello on the camera. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys have a wonderful night, and go Blue Devils.